mic. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Alright, I think. Yeah, here we go. That should be good there. Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm back here again on a stream. I don't know if this will be the best quality, considering shitty internet I got, but oh well. But here we are, nonetheless. My best attempt at a stream. Just give me some feedback. Let me know how the stream's going as of like latency and all that stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'll probably put that in the chat too. Let's see here. Of course, I have reports of frames dropping. Okay, that's nice. But yeah, I don't exactly have the best internet for streaming, but we're gonna give it a try here. This is mainly meant to be like a podcast of like updates on some creative things I've been doing. So yeah, we're gonna start this. Alright, so I have to sign in the chat. Shit, I have to go to all this other crap to get into the chat. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in chat just so everybody knows. Hey, you know, let me know how the stream's going, if it's, you know, laggy, if it's like delayed or whatever, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. So get this crap off my screen. Here we go. Wait a minute here. Let's see. How's everything going? Let me just try something here because it didn't work. Hold on. I don't know why it didn't work. That's strange. Alright. Oh, I signed into the wrong account. Hold on here. I know why. I'm not signed into the right account. I gotta sign into the right account here, otherwise it's not gonna work. Okay. Alright. So, waiting patiently as we try and get to the chat to put this message in here for everyone. I can already tell it's probably not going to be the best quality stream, but this is my best attempt, so here we are. With probably a laggy stream because my internet sucks for streaming, but hey. You know, I tried to get an upgrade to like a 500 megabits per second plan, but you know, I haven't had the best of luck in my area, so you know how it is. Fucking rural area internet, but you know, because the place I moved to, you know, I was about literally a goddamn meter within this tower to be able to switch to another ISP where I get 500 megabits per second internet with 25 megabits per second upload. And it told me, hey, you're out of range by like a meter. And I'm like, are you for real, dude? But yeah, that's just how it's been. I was out of range by a meter from this tower, and I'm like, dude, are you for real? Because I mean, I don't live exactly out in the middle of nowhere, but like, you know, it's still a rural area nonetheless. You know how it is, but Yeah, rural internet, of course, is not going to be as good as, like, you know, major city internet, like Chicago internet or whatever the hell, but you know how it is. Oh, there we go. Alright, so messages in there. Let's see how many viewers we got. Alright. So, yeah, I was just talking about getting better internet, but, you know, sometimes it's difficult depending on where you live. I mean, if you live right out in like a major city, you could get literally gigabit internet, like in most places. If you live, even in other countries like Australia, if you live out in Melbourne, you're probably going to be getting good internet, you know. Or if you live somewhere like Chicago or LA, whatever, some major city here in America, you'll probably be able to get, you know, gigabit internet. But unfortunately, in my area, it's more limited. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. You know, I mean, it's alright for streaming. I don't really have much issues with streaming or with online gaming too much. Occasionally, I might get slight lag, but you know, it could be worse. You know, I could have shitty satellite internet. By the way, don't recommend satellite internet for really anyone. Just don't get it. You know, it's worse than DSL internet. Let me just say that. I haven't had it, but I mean, just think about the aspect of it. You know, like you're going out to a satellite. You don't even know how close you are really too much to the satellite, but your speed could vary so much. It's not like with broadband where if you have one device connected, you know, you're probably going to be all good as long as, you know, you don't have like, you know, like a megabit per second internet plan. But, you know, if you have satellite internet, like if a storm comes, your internet's going to be shite. You're not even going to be able to get on shit probably. It's probably not even going to be a megabit per second. It's going to be garbage. It'll depend heavily on the weather, how cloudy it is and everything. You know, that's why satellite internet is like almost never worth it. Like very rarely is it ever worth it. And I know for a fact, like, it's shit even compared to DSL. If anyone has satellite internet here, let me know. Let me know how it is, because I bet you it's shite, but let me know if it's actually good for anybody. I'd be surprised. I mean, I don't know anybody personally with satellite internet, but I'd love to hear how it is, you know? And most likely it's shit, like I said, but I'd love to hear somebody else's experiences with it. So, other than that, I was going to talk about my new up-and-coming book, The Skies of Marfa. Now, I don't know if I talked about this too much on my channel. I might have mentioned it somewhere. Somebody could probably, you know, quote me on that. But I got this new book coming out called The Skies of Marfa. And this is like my own science fiction novel with some comedic aspects added into it. Because, you know, I like a bit of comedy. What can I say? I watch a lot of Adult Swim programs. I love King of the Hill. I love Family Guy. I love a lot of that stuff, man. You know, cartoon sitcoms, all that stuff. You know, I'm heavily into that stuff. I was even into Futurama when I was a young kid and everything. So, you know, I'm heavily into like almost science fiction type of things with some comedy added in there, you know what I mean? So I'm making my own spin on it, on the Skies of Marfa, literally the Marfalites conspiracy that's been running around for decades. Not just recently, but for decades. You can look this up on YouTube. There's documentaries on this. And the most interesting one I found was from, I believe, the 2000s at some point, where they showed the footage of this, like, over, like, decades of time. And still to this day, 2024, no explanation for this. No explanation for these Marthalites. People, you know, have said it's aliens, which is the most common one. It's, you know, what else were they saying? Damn. They were saying that this is, you know, plasma that people are putting out there. I don't know if I believe that totally. I mean, for decades, I don't know if I believe that. I believe there's something more to this. Like, maybe something in the earth, possibly. I'll be honest. Maybe something that we haven't discovered in the earth is causing this. But, you know, of course, people have said it's aliens. It's all sorts of things, you know what I mean? People have said it's all sorts of shit. And still to this day, nobody knows. Even a lot of the people in Marfa, Texas, living there, don't even know. So, let me know what your thoughts are on the Marthalites, though. What do you think is causing the Marthalites in Marfa, Texas? Let me know. But, yeah. Working on this book right now. I just actually started writing a little bit more of it, you know, about an hour or two ago. I'm almost done with this next chapter I'm working on. I'm on the second chapter currently, and I'm almost done with it. I know, you know, it's been a work in progress. You know, I've been busy with all sorts of things. It's, you know, over the weekends I've had, you know, when I'm not working, you know, I've been working on it more. And, you know, it's a slow work in progress because, I don't know, I'm just a perfectionist when it comes to my art, you know. When it's something I'm really passionate about, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that, you know what I mean? So I spend a lot of time, you know, really, you know, trying to focus, get my mind to focus on, okay, what's the best way I can write this, you know? How can I make this as well written as I possibly can? Because, you know, you always want to try your hardest, you know, when it comes to your art, you know? Something you're passionate about, you always want to try your hardest. At least that's how I view it, you know? Of course, you may not always succeed, but you give in your best, you give in your best shot, and that's what matters the most. At least I think when it comes to your art, whether it be music, writing, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, that's just the way I viewed it. I don't drink too much, but truly hard seltzers are good. What can I say? You know? But yeah. But yeah, my book, the story is going to be on a high school student who discovers that the Marthalites are actually aliens. They're actually for real aliens. Yeah. I mean, of course, you know, it's science fiction. So, you know, of course, it's not true, of course, and it hasn't been proven 100% that it's aliens, but a lot of people have said so, and that's what inspired my story. Actually, another thing that inspired my story too, I watched a King of the Hill episode one day. You know, the one where Dale convinces his son that, you know, he's an alien because, you know, he's like, of course, of Native American descent, it looks like, you know what I mean? And he's like, okay, why did I give birth to a Native American looking child? Even though it's John Redcorn's child, his neighbor next door. Or not next door, I don't know if it is next door, but, you know, one of his neighbors lives on a street nonetheless, named John Redcorn. He's Native American, you know, and he can't put two and two together and be like, okay, what the hell? My wife, I must have cheated on me with this dude. But yeah, it's the episode where Dale convinces Joseph He's an alien. Joseph goes out to see the Marfalites, and it's something else, dude. I mean, they don't really show totally what it is, but like, you know, it was still interesting to see, and this caused me to look into this thing more because, you know, I'm kind of somewhat an astronomy guy. What can I say? I'm into some astronomy, honestly, especially when it comes to the Milky Way galaxy. I like learning a bit about our planets, you know, and what they contain, of course. You know, I'm somewhat of a geek when it comes to it. You know what I mean? Not totally to the point where I'd work for NASA or anything, but I'm somewhat of a geek when it comes to it. I mean, I can name several facts about, you know, planets. You know, for example, Mercury, 70% metals. You know what I mean? I mean, you can tell us by looking at it. There's a lot of metal on the planet. You know, and it's quite hot. Not as hot as Venus, because, you know, Venus is mostly greenhouse gases, but Mercury is hot as fuck. I mean, you think the Death Valley in California is hot. Dude, you won't be able to live there. But, yeah. I mean, probes have been sent to the planet. I mean, if you were to go to Mercury, you would probably burn up within minutes. But, you know, they have sent probes there, of course. And the Sumerians had discovered it way back in the day. You know, I'm not 100% sure on exactly how. I've tried to read into it, but I'm not sure exactly 100% how. I'm guessing through telescopes, maybe, you know, but, you know, of course, you know, we know it exists right now. I mean, of course we know it exists by now, considering all the technology we've had. We literally have probes now. I don't believe we had probes back then, but, you know, yeah. Let me see how the stream's going, though. A lot of my frames have dropped, unfortunately. It might be a shitty stream, but I'm giving it my best, you know. My internet's shit. What can I say? But yeah. I do wish I had better internet, though. But, oh well. Let me just see how the stream's going, though. Let me just give it a look. Make sure everything's going fine.
Something you're passionate about, you always want to try more. But you give it your best.
So it looks like it's lagging greatly, but you know what? I don't give a damn as long as you guys can hear me fine. That's all that matters, you know what I mean? So it seems like you guys can hear me, but unfortunately the video quality is not the best, to say the least, as you could probably tell. It's like literally almost all my frames have dropped. My internet is so garbage when it comes to streaming. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone who has to endure the complete just atrocity that the video quality is here. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of this internet around here, except for, you know, a certain few ISPs, or actually one ISP, because we only have one ISP around this city I live in that offers gigabit internet. The rest of them don't. The rest of them don't offer that shit. Because, you know, we live in a kind of rural area, so. I mean, it's not completely in the middle of nowhere, but it's still kind of a rural area, you know. It's, you know, it is what it is. But I'm doing my best to communicate with you guys regardless, and I'm enjoying the stream so far, so that's all that matters, I think. Giving it the best I can with what I have. I've tried to upgrade my internet, like I said, but I wasn't very successful, as, you know, I've explained at the beginning of the stream, but, you know. So, yeah. My book, The Skies of Marfa, is going to be, I think, a pretty good book, though. And I'll give some background, too, into, you know, how I started writing. You know, because I've been writing on and off for years, you know, ever since I was a little kid. I've been writing stories, You know, I haven't read stories, believe it or not. You know, there's one I don't even have anymore, but I wrote this thing when I was like 8 years old because I used to watch a lot of like, you know, Goosebumps and stuff like that, and you know, almost kind of family friendly scary movies. I used to like, what's that one with Eddie Murphy? Not Night at the Museum. What the hell was that movie? But it's got Eddie Murphy in it, and it's like, you know, a Halloweenish kind of movie. You know, a kind of spooky movie. But they go to an inn, and it turns out that there was like a murder there by the guy who runs the inn. Why can't I think of the name? But I've seen it so many times. Let me know what it is, because, you know, I bet you guys can put all those details together and maybe think of what it is. But it had Eddie Murphy in it. I can't think of the movie, but that one I liked a lot too. And I like Goosebumps, and there's some other ones. Hocus Pocus, I love that movie. Great, family friendly, you know, Halloween movie. I watched that one a lot during Halloween. I love that movie. What can I say? It's awesome. But yeah. Anyways, aside from that, I started writing this thing when I was a kid. It was such a weird book. Like, I was writing, I think it was about this like sponge that could literally absorb all the water in your body. And it was so weird because, you know, I would look into so many of these weird like Goosebumps things, and there was stuff like this that would happen. Like the most weird like haunted objects they would have as the main like villain, you could say, or, you know, the frightening character that makes the kind of horror aspect come into fruition. You know, when I was writing this thing, that was like the first book I did when I was like 8 years old, and I don't have it anymore. I had a binder of this thing though, because I was literally writing this thing on paper. You know what I mean? Because this was like, you know, 2008, 2009, when, you know, of course I didn't have Microsoft Word or anything like that to do it with, and, you know, I didn't even really do it on a computer. I just did it the old-fashioned way, you know, wrote it down on paper, you know, and, you know, I wish I still had it, but that's just my background when it comes to storytelling and everything. That was the first story I ever wrote. But man, you know, it wasn't bad for something, you know, an 8-year-old wrote, you know. I wish I could show it to you guys, but like I said, I don't have it. But that's just my background in it. And I can't wait for the story to come out, The Skies of Marfa. I can't wait for it to come out, to get it published and all that stuff, because it's going to be good. It will be, I think, innovational when it comes to the science fiction industry, you know, because I think science fiction needs to come back, you know, like the movie 2012, when that came out, that's when people started getting into science fiction more. And there was Moonfall in 2022, which was an alright movie. I liked that movie. It wasn't like my number one science fiction movie, but, you know, it was still pretty decent. I like the aspect of it. I like the idea of it, that the moon is, you know, made up of artificial intelligence. That's kind of interesting, and there's a little bit of comedy to it. I mean, not as much as a lot of people would probably like, but, you know, it was alright, you know. So, as of music, I have one or two songs I've written, but haven't recorded yet because, you know, I moved out and I can't record because I live in an apartment. But, you know, I do have a place where I can record. The problem is I just need a laptop, and I need to save up for a laptop to record. I'm thinking about possibly putting out an EP eventually of a few songs, you know, I just need to get all my equipment and everything put into place for it to happen, and that's how it'll happen. Because I have I have 1 or 2 songs written that I want to put out there. I've kind of ditched a few of them over time, but there's 1 or 2 I do want to put out there, you know, because I want to make my mark in songwriting too. There's things I do want to still make my mark in it, you know, 23 years old, you know what I mean? So, of course, I still have a lot of time, at least I hope I have a lot of time, but yeah, I mean, of course, you know, death is uncertain, but hey, you know, I'm not 60 yet, I'm not 80, so there you go. I was thinking about possibly performing a few covers on here, because I do have my guitar in the background. I can't really turn it up that loud because I live in an apartment, but hey, I could do the best I could, but, you know, I don't know though. Let me know if you guys want me to do a little bit of music, and I might just give my best attempt. If I fuck up, oh well. I gave it my best, that's how I see it, and that's what matters. Alright, so let's see how things are doing again. Just checking a few things here, make sure everything's all smooth sailing for the stream. I'm not going to stream for too long because I have a little bit of stuff to do, but, you know, I'm just giving this the best shot I can for now. So, yeah. And as for the release date as well for my book, it's uncertain yet. As of yet, it is uncertain. It could be a year from now. It could be 6 months from now. It could be, you know, any time. That's all I can say for now. Although, I will know, I will tell you guys when this thing will come out, when I have a confirmed date. I haven't finished writing it yet, so the date it will be released is still uncertain, but once I find out the date and get it all put together, I will let you guys know. But for now, it is still uncertain. It is still uncertain, like I said, so can't think of much more else to say about it right now, but yeah. And as the videos here in this channel, I'm thinking about doing a few more music reviews possibly, maybe a few more commentaries. I know, you know, the last few videos did are kind of like rants. I do those once in a while. I don't do them all the time, but, you know, occasional rants, not bad if, you know, you find something it's kind of cringe, but yeah. I know I talked about Dustin Nunn in the last video, you know, but yeah. How is that guy back doing what he's doing? I don't know. I don't know. I just wish, you know, for his sake, though, and his parents' sake, not even just like the views of, you know, the views the guy has. I mean, I heavily disagree with his views, and most people do, and all that shit, but on a real note, his personal life, it just doesn't seem all that good. I don't understand, personally, how you can be like 35 and not have any sort of like experience with working or like any sort of like schooling after high school or anything like that. Like, dude, on a real note, and I'm being man to man here, do something with your life, dude. Stop just sitting at home all day. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I get you have these hopes and dreams, and that's all well and good, but, like, you're 35, bro. You're not a teen, and I mean, I'm not saying don't give up on your dreams, but, you know, at least know how to provide for yourself, for God's sake. I mean, you know, when you're 35 and the only thing you've accomplished with your life is, you know, maybe being on the news once, and, you know, you don't make any source of income, and you haven't since you were 18, other than, you know, your parents, what are you doing, bro? Like, and I'm not even trying to be an ass here. I'm being for real, like, giving my personal thoughts, bro. Like, yeah, I know there's lots of jokes that are going around about the dude still, and, you know, all that stuff, now that he's back here, but, dude, do something, man. Please. Just do something with your life. Get a job. I mean, you know, look at your life right now. Is your life really all that great? And don't just, you know, say, oh, yeah, you know, you're just making fun of me. No, dude. Give me an honest answer. Is your life really that great? Are you really fulfilled with yourself 100% in life? Like, are you really? And I'm being, like, honest here. I'm trying to be as, you know, as much of not a dick as I can be here. Like, is your life really fulfilling? Because, like, why are you even here? Why are you even back? And I'm not saying, like, you can't make videos, but, like, when you're coming back doing the same thing, continuing your lifestyle and making these videos that, like, it's nothing original, it's nothing really, like, we haven't heard before from you, you know. And like I said, I'm really trying to not be an ass. I'm trying to get this guy to do something here with his life other than, like, making himself look the way he does online, you know. And if he was just some guy that did rants on, you know, WWE or whatever, his video games or whatever, I probably wouldn't give a shit. Like, nobody would even know who the hell this dude is, probably. You know, I mean, I don't know, but regardless, dude, what are you doing with your life, man? What are you doing? But, yeah. I mean, dude, just take this as, like, the best advice I can give you. If you care about your parents, if you have any self-respect, go out there and work. Do something. Go work a 9 to 5. Do something, bro. Because you're 35 years old, man. You're not a kid anymore. You know, it's time to get your big boy pants on and get out there and make a living. Like, see all this right here? This came from hard work, man. Like, you haven't done anything like I've done. And I'm 23. You're 35 or however the hell old you're like in your mid-30s, I believe, something like that. You're approaching middle age. And I've done a lot more than you. I've done more in 5 years probably than you've ever done in your whole life, dude. Like, it's what? I'm sorry, but what? But yeah, dude. That's the best advice I can give to you. Without, you know, throwing ad homs or any of that. I'm just trying to give you genuine advice, dude. And if you don't want to listen, well, it is what it is, I guess. But I'm just doing this for the sake of you and your parents. Because this isn't good for either you or your parents. And you may not want to admit it at first, but deep down, I think you know it's the truth. And, you know, if your parents end up, you know, just getting rid of you, you know, throwing you out of their apartment because they just can't do it anymore, I'm sorry to say it, dude, but you kind of brought it upon yourself. Like, you know, if they get rid of you and decide, hey, dude, go out there and learn how the world is, you know, it's just tough love at that point, bro. Just understand that they're trying to get you out there to succeed in life instead of failing. Like, you know, that's what they'd be trying to do for you. Like, you know, even though I don't agree with this guy's views, I think his views are a bit extreme, to say the least. But what I'm trying to do here, regardless of political views or any of that stuff, I'm trying to say, dude, on a real note, you really, really need to go out there and get a job, go out and do something, and provide for yourself. Provide for yourself, at least. You don't even need to provide for a family. Provide for yourself enough that you can survive on your own. Or at least work, you know, to where you're making some of your own money, even if you still live with your parents. You know what I mean? Even if you still live with your parents, that's all well and good, dude. As long as you're working. I get, you know, cost of housing is quite expensive, and a lot of us are lucky if we even find an apartment for a decent price, you know, but it's better than nothing, dude. And I'd at least have a little bit of respect for you if, you know, you worked and you still lived with your parents. Okay, that's all well and good, dude, you know, but just go out there and do something, man, you know. And then more people might respect you a bit more. I mean, I think you should stop with the political stuff. I really think you should stop with that too. But the most important thing is getting out there and making something with your life. You know what I mean? There's more things I think you should change, but that's the number one thing I think you should change. So, I'm just giving you the best advice I can give you. I know Thrash Metal Guru tried with you, and, you know, he didn't really get that far, but I don't even know if I will either. I'm kind of doubting it, but I'm at least hoping that I can get through to you. So, I gave my best shot, and that's all I can say, and I'm kind of done with that discussion. So, yeah. As of things with myself, things are going pretty good lately for me. I've been working on a lot of creative projects. I've been skateboarding, getting a little bit better. I kind of sold my camera that I used for skateboarding a while ago because, you know, just I was kind of broke at one point. I kind of had to sell a few things to get a little bit of money back, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm doing a lot better financially now, and things are a bit better. So, yeah, I've come far in a year's time. So, yeah. I might film some skateboarding eventually. There's quite a few things I like doing as hobbies, you know. Quite a few things. I enjoy skateboarding. It gets me away from, you know, being too idle. And, you know, as they say, idle hands are the devil's playground. It gets me outside, enjoying things, and I always like turning on a sick-ass playlist of some good-ass music. Whether it be you know, punk rock, whether it be metal, whether it be even a little rap. You know, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it wholeheartedly. And, you know, I'm thinking about doing a little bit, waiting for my dinner to cook pretty soon. Once it hits around 9 o'clock EST, I'm probably going to be going out, skating a little bit, waiting for my dinner to get done, because I'm probably going to put something in the oven and wait for it to be done. But, yeah. Once I get a bit better, possibly, you know, I might film a little bit once I'm able to ollie over curbs again like I used to. Because my ollies are getting higher. They are. I wish I could film it, but I don't exactly have a camera for it right now. But, you know, once I get my hands on another camera one of these days, I'll probably think about it. And once I get a little bit better, you know, I might upload some footage. But, you know, I do want to learn a bit more, though. I want to be able to ollie off curbs. I want to be able to front side 180 at least. Maybe kickflip. We'll see. Although kickflips are really fucking hard. Although, of course, skateboarding in general is quite hard, but, you know. But, yeah. I do hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I've definitely enjoyed hanging out here. And I'll probably keep this up just in case anyone else wants to add to this whole thing. You know what I mean? But even though it may not be the best quality, hey, you got to listen to me speak. So there you go. You got to listen to me talk about some things and give you guys some updates and give some details on my current creative projects and all that stuff. So, hey, there you go. So, I talked about a lot of cool stuff in the stream, I think, that I hope you guys found interesting. And, you know, yeah. So, as of videos, I may do a little more commentaries, possibly, you know, maybe a bit of music reviews, but we'll see. I'm trying to think of what I do music reviews on right now. Let me know if you guys have any ideas on music reviews, you know, whether it be even like my thoughts on the current state of, you know, whatever it may be, rap or, you know, rock or even country, who knows? We'll see. But yeah. Other than that, sorry, I kind of zoned out for a moment, but other than that, I think I'm probably going to conclude the stream for now. You guys are, of course, free to comment on the stream after it ends, but yeah, this has just been me just going on a stream off the dome, talking about just various topics. So I might do more of these. Let me know if I should do more of these, because